Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, Shaker Heights varsity baseball fans, and welcome here to League Park here in Cleveland, Ohio. We're here by the Baseball Heritage Museum to honor the iconic Cleveland sports teams that have come before us and have played here at League Park. These include the Cleveland Spiders, the Cleveland Buckeyes, and the former Cleveland Indians. It was also home to the Cleveland Rams NFL team in the late 30s and 40s. However, after being taken down from a full-blown stadium, it's now used as a recreational ball field for teams to use when requested. And who requested it this time? Well, today it's reserved for your Red Raiders of Shaker Heights to host the Bishop Watterson Eagles, who've traveled from Columbus to play a doubleheader today in Cleveland. Shaker only taking the bus 15 minutes from the high school to get to where we are now. So the Red Raiders, as the home team today, are going to be taking the field first. So we'll be seeing our second outing of Thomas Barrett since the Raiders returned to Ohio. His first time out was a week ago from today when the Raiders traveled to Brunswick to play a great competitive game versus the Blue Devils. Barrett pitched the complete game, going the 6 innings of Raider defense, and he performed phenomenally up until the 5th, where signs of fatigue started to creep into his play. After allowing 2 runs in the 5th and 3 runs in the 6th, and not receiving any support on offense, the Raiders lost the shutout game 5-0. But as we look to today, Barrett is back, looking to give it his all out here on the turf field. Shaker not too used to turf, but they're also coming off of a loss handed to them on the turf Wednesday. Though the Raiders definitely threatened to come back to make it a 1-run ball game against Gilmore, Gilmore did hang on, leaving the tying and go-ahead runs on base. But now the Eagles are ahead of them, and errors are not an option on defense. With that, the defense behind Barrett will look like this. Marcus Birch over at left, Will Tagan at center, and Fogarty will be to right. On the infield, it will be Will Berglund back at first base, Flynn Block, and Brett Moore still up the middle at second and short, and sophomore Sam Luther will be covering third. Behind the dish, it will be Quentin Garnett back behind home plate, catching for Barrett. Now the coaches will leave home plate, leaving the umpires to discuss, and with that, we expect the national anthem to be here in just a minute. I do believe. Or perhaps not. Shaker going to be taking the field, and with that, Thomas Barrett returning to the mound after a week of rest. So far, we've seen pitching from George McGinnis, Tyler Zach, and Casey Robinson since Thomas Barrett has went to the hill. He will take the time to introduce himself to the ump, and now he will take his spot at the center of the infield. Shaker in their all-white look today with the red caps, more of a classic look. No black on the uniforms, except for a little bit on the hat. It's a nice look as the Red Raiders are wearing a classic uniform in a classic ballpark. Some players that have taken their spot here at the baseball field. Cy Young, the iconic pitcher, has played right here. Bob Feller has as well. Shaker Heights getting their final warm-up throws for the top of the first. the real issue with Thomas Barrett last time was the matter of not putting in any relief. As he was out there for the complete game, he just couldn't close it out. And we'll see how the coaches decide to use him this time. But here will be number 2 stepping into the left-handed batter's box. And normally a left-handed hitter batting leadoff is not too often what you see in high school ball, but the kick the pitch. And we are underway as it hits him with pitch number 1. Not a good sign of things to come, but it is early. 1 pitch, 1 man on first. And there we go. We're underway here at League Park in Cleveland, Ohio. Thomas Barrett already has a man at first to think about. The second pitch of the day will go for strike 1. Not letting the first pitch affect him too much. 0-1 the count. The next pitch to the right-handed hitter. Swung on. Into foul ground. Here at League Park, foul territory is rather massive compared to other high school ball fields. So for first and third baseman Will Berglund and Sam Luther over there by the baseline, they're going to need to keep their head up and go for the foul pop-ups. Pickoff throw, back in on a dive is number 2. He's in there safely. Barrett's pitch this time once again fouled back. It'll hit the visitor center of the museum. The count will remain 0-2. Runner at first is number 2. The pitch swung on right over to Sam Luther at third. He'll go to second for the force, looking to turn 2, but he will beat it out over at first. So now it'll be 1 away with the runner over at first. In a new reset count. Shaker, I don't believe, able to turn 2 too much throughout the campaign here to start us off. Shaker already a third of the way through their baseball season. This is the 10th game because we include Arizona as a part of the scheduled games for the Red Raiders. They were supposed to have a ball game on Friday, but Garfield Heights and the Red Raiders had to call it off due to Shaker overscheduling and scheduling 28 games, and the OHSAA only allows them to do 27. The 1-0 pitch, this one looked a bit outside, but it'll be ruled strike 1. And now we're evened up in the count. 1 away, a 1-1 count, and a runner at first in the top of the first. A lot of ones on the scoreboard. This pitch outside. Garnett back behind the dish. Braden White taking the day off in the dugout. Though during batting practice, he was absolutely launching them, but not getting the start. And there it'll be Thomas Barrett getting called for a balk. And the runner from first moves up to second. And this pitch swung on and missed. Garnett able to recover behind home plate. So there's strike 2. Next pitch to him. This one swung on, but it'll be foul. That one hit the batter before escaping into the infield. The count remains even at 2-2. 1 away with a runner in scoring position. He stays at second. This pitch swung on, over to short. Brett Moore can't make the play. We'll see if they can get the runner at third, but Marcus Birch running in won't be able to beat him with a throw. So we'll just send it in, and now it'll be runners at the corners with one away. Thomas Barrett quickly struggling out there on the mound. However, that looks like it will be ruled an error. Just escaped him on a dive from Brett Moore at short. The pitch to open up this at-bat will be a ball outside and up. RBI opportunity with the runner over at third. The 1-0. Swung on, popped up. Back over and foul, unplayable by Quentin Garnett. And back near the visitor center over to our right. Here at League Park, a lovely museum over to our right, and that's what the visitor center is for. There you'll see some short biographies of some of the players that had played here. That ball swung on and once again fouled back onto the roof of the visitor center. So that'll be strike two. So the 2-strike count with 1 ball and 1 away with runners at the corners. This pitch swung on, popped up to Will Tagan in the outfield, and he'll try to get the man tagging up, but it'll be cut short by Brett Moore. Over at short, and the run will score. That's Mechanic. Coming home, he will represent the first run of the ball game. But there will now be 2 outs on the Eagles. Still that runner over at first. Barrett, the left-handed pitcher, up against a left-handed hitter now. He'll pick off over at first. Back in on a dive. Already 15 pitches from Thomas Barrett. This 16th pitch will be outside. Garnett trying to pick him off. The steal attempt, however, will be successful. And Kudika from first to second. And once again, an Eagle runner will be in scoring position. And there, almost a throw from Barrett to second. But Moore was not covering second. I don't think he thought that was coming to him. So no throw. But here's the throw to home plate. That one will be inside for a ball. That's ball 2, 2-0. 2 away now. The 2-0 pitch will be down low. 3 pitches this AB. 3 balls and no strikes. Could he draw the 4-pitch walk? We'll see. But time will be called by the batter. Schmidt exiting the batter's box, needing a moment. Barrett was taking his time out there on the mound. That's why in the MLB we'll get a pitch clock now to open up the season. This pitch in there for a strike. That one right down the middle. That's his 19th pitch of the top of the first. This one swung on. Moore doesn't look like he'll be able to get to it. It'll be Marcus Birch calling for it, but it'll get down. It'll go to Moore off the bounce, but with that, Shaker will give up 2 runs here in the top of the first. There's only 2 away, with now a runner at first. And that's Schmidt. A bloop single, I don't think that will go as an error. That pitch in for a strike. So quickly, Shaker playing from behind. 22nd pitch from Barrett. Looked outside, but he'll rule it. Strike 2. He looks more of a pitcher's umpire. This one foul tipped back into the glove of Quentin Garnett, and that will be strikeout number 1 for Thomas Barrett, as that will retire the side. Do it for Shaker. Hitting the leadoff will be Will Tagan. His first time in leadoff of the season. We'll see how he will do when we come back. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum, here to call the game for you here at League Park, and we are getting set for the bottom of the first. And with that, hitting leadoff will be Will Tagan. Behind him, Flint Block, Nolan James, batting 30, moved up from 4th, and moving up from 5th to 4th will be Will Berglund at 5th. Will be Sam Luther, the sophomore, in the third base position today. Marcus Birch at 6th, Quentin Garnett at 7, and it'll be Brett Moore in 8, capping off the starting 9 will be Andrew Fogarty. He's the right fielder in this one. First pitch to Will Tagan. Upstairs and in. Ball 1. Next pitch to him. This one fouled back. That one almost got over the cage. It did not. It'll stay in for Flint Block to grab out of the on-deck circle. He'll flip it over to the ump. He'll hang on to it. Shaker finds themselves down 2 early on. Will Tagan looking to change that with a leadoff knock. However, this one almost ran in and got him. He needed to get out of the way, falling down onto his back. Luckily, it didn't get him. If it did, would have been very much upstairs, perhaps hitting the dome. But instead, it's ball 2. 2-1 the count. Will Tagan, the leadoff man, the first time he's batting leadoff here in the Red Raider campaign this season. This one swung on and missed. A big hack. Speaking of big hacks, Shaker most likely not able to hit one out of here today. It's 460 to the deepest part of the ballpark. 290 over to our right pole. And Will Tagan looked like he held off. The throw, Will Tagan. Not sure if he beat it out. It was a pitch in the dirt. A little bit of confusion here in the stands. However, regardless, it'll be out number 1. So next up will be the contact guy of Flynn Block. The first pitch to him. This one swung on the line over to left. That one's going to get in the corner. We'll see that Flynn Block could maybe even turn this into a triple. He's going for it. Rounding second, he's in with a slide. There you go, Flynn Block getting the triple with a liner over to left field. And now it's an RBI opportunity for the power guy of Nolan James. Even one sent into the outfield would cut the deficit to 1 for the Eagles, but we'll see. Nolan James batting third today. He moves up from the 4th position. This one swung on and right at the second baseman, ranging to his right. An athletic play there from the second baseman. And he'll keep it in the infield. And now that will hold Block over at third. And we'll see what the Red Raiders can do now with 2 away and the runner in scoring position. Next up will be Will Berglund. He's another big power guy. The first pitch to him will be down low for ball 1. Good stop behind the dish. Keeping it in front of him. Block taking his lead from third. Berglund standing in with a 1-0 count. Next pitch swung on. This one will get through. To the left of second base. It'll find its way into shallow center. And Will Berglund will get the RBI single to cut the deficit in half. It's 2-1. Bishop Watterson's still on top. Next up, it'll be the sophomore, Sam Luther, standing in the right-handed hitter's box. The pitch to him. Swung on. This one will go right to first. He'll cover. However, it'll be the first base coach calling for catcher's interference. And the ump going to take the coach's side. It'll be catcher's interference. And with that, it'll be Berglund now standing over at second, Sam Luther at first. The catcher a bit too in the way of Sam Luther as he was heading over to first. And that means it'll be Marcus Birch standing in the left-handed hitter's box. He's the left fielder in this one. The first pitch to him will be right down the middle for strike number 1 to open up his count. He hit it well in batting practice today, and that's why he's in the lineup today. He's batting 6th. This one scraped right off the bat and into the catcher's glove for strike 2. He's got an RBI opportunity looking to tie this one up. However, he's already looking to defend in an 0-2 count. The pitch down low. Good take. Right behind Birch, it's Garnett. We'll see if he gets a chance here in the bottom of the first. But the 1-2 pitch will be outside, ball 2. That'll even it up. Runners on first and second. That's Sam Luther and Will Berglund. The 2-2 pitch will be swung on and missed. That's a forwards K for the men on the mound, and that will retire the side, leaving 2 men on is Marcus Birch. And the Red Raiders are looking to take the field. When we come back, Shaker needing to hold this one at a one-run ball game. Thank you very much for tuning in here at League Park. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're getting set for the top of the second here at League Park. The Red Raiders hosting Bishop Watterson. And so far, it's a one-run ball game. The pitch from Barrett to open up the second will be outside. A ball one. 2-1 is our score, and it is a beauty of a day here in Cleveland, Ohio. The next pitch upstairs and away. Two balls, no strikes. This one swung on. Moore keeping it on the infield. The throw will be in time. A great play from the shortstop. And that is what you like to see. He has the most infield errors on the Red Raiders, but they're not a sign from the junior making the play across the diamond. And there you go, Brett Moore. This pitch inside, ruled a strike. That'll be the 27th pitch we'll see from Barrett. The next from will be outside, evening the count at 1-1. But as I was saying, a beauty of a day. Only one single cloud in the sky from what we can see here, and that's over to our left. None over the ball field. This pitch outside. But if you're one for warm weather, come on out to League Park. This one's for you. This pitch swung on. It'll be a tapper foul to our left. Luther, the man tasked with getting it to his right. But we know the Red Raiders are going to be faced with some cold ones next week. So Shaker's going to need to enjoy this as it lasts. Ohio weather, not exactly the prettiest thing we'll see. This one, once again, fouled over to our left. That count remains at 2-2. There's one away in a one-run ball game. The next from Barrett to kick the pitch. Swung on. This one will find its way into shallow left center. Will Tagan will be on it. He'll get the throw in, holding the lead runner over at first. And now there's one on with one away. A good swing, good contact to get that into left center. Will Tagan, a good job at center field to get the pitch back in. This pitch outside, a strike. The 33rd pitch from Barrett. Runner over at first taking his lead. This one swung on and missed. A big hack from number 9. Number 9 capping off the starting 9 for Bishop Watterson. This one popped up over behind us and onto a truck over there by the visitor center. It'll seem to be all right. But now the count 0-2. And here, stealing attempt. Garnett's throw is high. Luckily, Brett Moore backing up Flynn Block. Block was covering second, Moore right behind him, and luckily he's able to get it into his glove and keep it on the infield. But the stealing attempt will be successful. So now a runner in scoring position with one away. The next pitch will be called a strike. We'll get a vocal ump today behind the dish, and then that, as a pitcher, is what you like to see. A loud strikeout called by the umpire. And perhaps some momentum out there on the mound for Thomas Barrett. The next pitch to open up this AB will once again be a strike. That one looked like it was going to be high, but it fell down into the strike zone on the end of the pitch. Here showing bunt is number 2. But he'll get back in time. The count 1-1 as that pitch was outside. Here once again a bunting attempt, and this one a perfect bunt. This one will hug the right baseline. And here a throw from Berglund, and they've got him in a rundown. The throw to Garnett will be over his head. And now the throw to second. Shaker throwing this all over the place, and he's safe at second. The Eagles getting their lead back up to 2. As now the score will be 3-1. Bit of chaos on the infield, but Shaker will be allowing 1 run to come across. And Barrett checking the runner at second. He's backing on a dive without a throw. The long kick and the pitch will... Ooh. No one looked outside. I believe that was ruled a strike. The next one to him. A hanger over the strike zone. This one out to right field. Fogarty under it. And the routine flyout will be caught. That will retire the side. So a 1-run top of the second for Bishop Watterson. And with that, we'll see if Shaker can respond, cut this deficit back down to 1. Who knows, maybe tie it up. Who knows? Maybe take the lead, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll see you for the bottom of the second. Thank you very much for tuning in. Due up will be Quentin Garnett, Brett Moore, and Andrew Fogarty. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We're here at a lovely day in League Park. And due up, Quentin Garnett standing into the right-handed hitter's box. And he has been cold at the plate. His last hit coming 3 games ago. This pitch fouled back. A little bit more power. That would have found its way into the street behind us. But that's not the case. The 0-1 will be inside, but looks like it scraped him. And the leadoff man will be on at first. And so now up, it'll be the shortstop with a beauty of a play on defense at the top of the second. But now we'll see what he can do at the plate. Here, Garnett back in on a dive at first. The pitch to Moore. Swung on and missed a big hack at it. And that'll be strike 1. And this one could bloop if it gets there, And that it will. In the left center. It'll find its way onto the turf. And with that, Garnett will be safe at second. And Moore will get the bloop single. He'll stand in at first. A rare occurrence from Moore, getting a single over to our left. He's more of a successful hitter when it'll go over to the right side of the ball field. But there you go. He'll get the knock there, and standing in will be Andrew Fogarty. He's capping off the lineup in the 9-hole spot. The first pitch to him. He's showing bunt. He didn't hold back. Garnett will be held. He was looking to go to third on a bunt from Fogarty, but that one was outside of the bunt zone. He won't put bat to ball. The catcher holding Garnett at second. The 0-1. Showing foul once again. This one fouled over to our left. Zero balls and 2 strikes on the right fielder. The next one to him will be low. 4-1. A good look there from Fogarty. He's looking for his first hit since coming back from Arizona. This throw to Garnett will be over to the left of the third baseman, and Garnett will be safe with the stealing attempt. Brett Moore moves from first to second, and now 2 runners in scoring position for Fogarty. Fogarty looking for his first RBI since coming back from Ohio. The Red Raiders had those 4 losses in Arizona against 4 different Oregon teams. Shaker, however, 2-3 as they've come back home to Ohio. There, a strikeout looking, and Fogarty will be the first out here in the bottom of the second. And now here's an RBI opportunity for Will Tagan. He'll be standing in the right-handed batter's box. He is 0 for 1. This one to him will be outside. Tagan entering today, having a 222 average since coming back from Arizona. Looking for a knock to get these runners home from third and second. The pitch to him will be inside, and that's what happened last time he was up. Ran in and almost got him up high. But he's done well at getting out of the way. So the 2-0 to Tagan. This one swung on. This one's going to get out in the right center. The right fielder under it. And everyone's tagging up on the infield. Garnett will be safe at home. He'll represent the second run for the Red Raiders. Moore moving from second to third. 3-2 our score now. And next up will be Flynn Block. He's 1 for 1. He's the first run of the Red Raiders offense. The pitch to Block will be low. 4-1. Block working a great average since returning to Ohio, a 385 in his 15 plate appearances, 13 at-bats. This one swung on. It'll get to the third baseman. Block looking like he's going to beat it out, and he will. He'll tie this one up at 3 apiece. And this one gets away from the first baseman. Block moving all the way to second. Shaker's still going to have a man in scoring position now. As Shaker ties this one up, it's 3-3. 2 away. And next up, it'll be Nolan James, but we'll get a quick mound visit. We'll take a very, very brief break. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're now tied up at 3 here at League Park. And we're back after the quick mound visit. Shaker just tied this one up at 3 apiece, and Nolan James with an RBI opportunity with the runner over at second. That's Flynn Block. The pitch to James will be inside, but ruled a strike. Nolan James rocking a solid average as well, 333, with 2 singles, 2 doubles. He's also got that 2-run shot to his name that was lined over to left field in the game against North Olmsted. That one sided up at 3 against the Eagles in that affair. This pitch to him, low, but ruled a strike once again. Nolan James backing out of the batter's box in a bit of disbelief, but the game is the game. He's going to have to take it. And he will call time. Nolan James in a big spot, looking to get his 5th RBI here in Ohio. The pitch will be outside. Good look from the designated hitter in this one. However, he's 0 for 1. The 2-2 coming his way. There's 2 away. This one could get into center, but it doesn't look like it'll get down at all. And Flynn Block will be stranded over at second. However, Shaker with a successful bottom of the second, as they will tie this one up at 3 apiece. We'll see what Barrett can do. Can he keep this a tied ball game, as he will return to the mound for the Red Raiders? Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum, and I'm excited to call this one for you here at League Park. Thank you for tuning in. We've still got 5 more innings to go here in Cleveland, Ohio. And we're back for the top of inning number 3. Thomas Barrett working a tied ball game through 2. This next pitch outside. That will be pitch number 43 from Barrett. He's got 29 strikes to his name. But there's ball 1, the next to him. This one lined into left. That'll get down for a base hit. Birch getting the throw in to Brett Moore at short to hold the runner to the single. So the leadoff runner on. Watterson looking to take their lead right back. So far, not a scoreless half of an inning so far. And it'll be the Eagles not looking for that to change here in the top of the third. Barrett's pitch. And a brutal no-strike call there from the umpire in blue behind the dish. As I say every game, the ump sees what he sees and he calls what he calls. The pitch. Inside. That time it'll be ruled a strike. And, well, he saw that one inside, but he also saw that inside the strike zone. So there you go. The runner over at first with nobody away. This one swung on and missed. There's strike two. The next one to him will be swung on. A tapper over to block. He'll get the force at second. Ooh! But it'll be away from Moore. It'll be Birch getting into shallow left field to try and get that one back in, but not quick enough, as the runners will move from second and first to third and second. And now two runners in scoring position with nobody away. Block normally not with too many errors over in his second base spot, but that will go down as an error on number 10. And this guy with a wider strike zone than most, calling a lot of those outside strikes, but also the inside strikes. A lot of these hitters needing to get bat on ball. That one will get away from Quentin Garnett, and it'll bring the runner from third to score on the wild pitch. 4-3 now our ball game. For any wild pitches, it'll really get away from the catcher. As I said, there's a lot of foul territory behind home and over by the first base and third baseline. Marcus Birch sliding to make the grab, but he won't be able to come up with it. Will Tagan looking to go to third. Will the ball beat him there? It will, but it'll pull Sam Luther off the bag. And that should go down as a triple. So now the score 5-3. Shaker still looking for their first out here in the top of inning number 3. But now it's Schmidt standing over at third. This one swung on. Berglund going to make sure he stays over at third, but the throw to first won't be in time as Barrett won't get to first in time. Not able to cover quick enough, and now it'll be runners at the corners, but a mound visit issued by head coach Stephen English. With that, we'll take a very brief break. We'll be back. Bishop Watterson taking their lead back to 2. We're back after the short mound visit. Thomas Barrett struggling here in the top of the third. He's already through 52 pitches. Now the next man standing in will be Williams. The first pitch to him outside for ball number 1. Runners at the corners with nobody away in a 6-3 ball game. Or excuse me, I thought it was 5-3. Perhaps this is incorrect. And that I believe it is. Excuse me there. The runner from third allowed to go home by the umpire. Perhaps a balk issue, not exactly sure. But the runner from first over to second as well. That pitch in a strike. But now it'll be 6-3 our ball game. With now a runner in scoring position. He's at second. And this pitch, once again, getting away from Garnett. He'll run back to the backstop. He'll be held up at third. And there's ball two. Not a third inning to remember as the man on the mound. The next pitch, down low, rule the ball. That's pitch number 55 for the starter. The next one to him, this one's lined into the gap between short and third. And that'll bring home another. That's the 7th run here for Bishop Watterson. And so a 4-run third inning for the Eagles. Still nobody away. The pitch from Barrett will be outside. And normally you'll see the umpire call that a strike today, but they're not the case. And there's ball one, the 1-0. The kick, the pitch. This one swung on. It'll be a pop-up for Sam Luther. He'll make the grab. And finally, we'll get out number one here in the top of the third inning. A much-needed first out for the men in white. A beautiful uniform for the home team. Bishop Watterson wearing their maroon jerseys with maroon caps, their pants gray as the road team. This one swung on and missed to open up the AB. Barrett was 60 pitches with 40 strikes, a solid ratio here in high school ball. This one swung on, fouled to the backstop. So the count evens up 1-1. One is away with a runner on first. This one over in to left field. It'll get down in foul territory. If that got down in fair territory, it would have been a bloop, as it was right between Luther and Birch, the third baseman, and the left fielder. Luckily not the case. 1-2 goes the count. Excuse me, 0-2. And there's the strikeout. The outside pitch ruled a strike. And now 2 straight outs, much needed by the Red Raiders. And especially the man out there on the hill. The next pitch looked like it was going to end up inside, but as the pitch made its way into the glove of Garnett, it wheeled into the strike zone, a bit of a curve there. The next one will be inside. And it looks like it hit him. He'll make his way to first as number 16 makes his way to second. And it looks like we'll get a courtesy runner. Williams being subbed out. Number 17 is going to replace him out there at second. But regardless, they'll have that man at scoring position. A runner at first as well. Mechanic stands in to the right-handed batter's box. He's up against the left-handed pitcher. And Barrett, the kick, the pitch. This one lined into right, but it looks like it'll be foul, and that it will be. Before the top of the third, we were as even as can be in a 3-3 ball game, but now, with a 4-run third from the Eagles on offense, it's 7-3. The pitch, a double steal attempt. Garnett with a throw to third, but he'll be in safely with the slide. A good throw from Garnett, a bit up high, however. Sam Luther not able to apply the tag in time, and now it'll be 2 away with 2 runners in scoring position. 7-3 with 2 away. This one popped up into the outfield. Tegan ranging to his right. He'll make the catch. And Shaker able to limit the damage, but the damage is done here in the top of the third. 4 runs for Bishop Watterson. We'll see how Shaker can respond as we make our way to the bottom of the third. My name is Vaughn Ullum. Pleased to call this one for you at League Park. We'll be back to see how Shaker can respond in the bottom of the third. So after the top of the third, Bishop Watterson now leads in a 7-3 score. Due up for the Red Raiders on offense, looking to respond. It'll be 4-5-6, the middle of the order, with Berglund, Luther, and Birch due up. Berglund, the only one of the 3 to get a hit their first time up. The first pitch to him upstairs, a ball. And that's how we will begin our bottom of the inning. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's a beautiful day for baseball here in Cleveland, Ohio. The next one to Berglund, cut on and missed. That'll even up the count, 1 apiece. The next pitch to him, and it looks like he'll win. One and 2 goes the count. Looking for a strikeout on the power hitter. We'll see if he can get it with this next one. The kick, the delivery. This one popped up into foul ground over to the right. But he won't be able to make the play on it. It looks like that one got lost in the sunlight. And Will Berglund will stay alive there in the right-handed batter's box. His demonstration of power came from that home game against North Olmsted, where he sent a rocket into center field. The solo shot ultimately won them the ball game 4-3. That one low, evening the count 2-2. Berglund with 1 RBI so far. That one low but close. Good eye from the first baseman. And the count worked full. The payoff pitch. This one fouled away back near the museum to our right. Be sure to check out the Baseball Heritage Museum. A lot of history told in the name of baseball there. A called strike on Will Berglund. That one looked outside. That's most likely what Berglund called, but today, the man behind the dish calling balls and strikes has called the outside and inside parts of the plate very much. So there's the backwards K. And there, strike one. Looking from Sam Luther, the sophomore, standing in. The next one to him. This one popped up foul over and behind us. It'll knock onto the concrete. That one, with more power, would have found its way into the street. But not the case. That one a towering bat to baseball contact. The next one to him, trying to sneak its way through second and short. Oh, to first will beat Luther. And that's out number 2. Nobody on here so far in the bottom of the third. The men in maroon, the road team, looking to hold the Red Raiders offense at the first scoreless outing on offense. The pitch to Birch, swung on and missed a big swing. As I said, no home runs exactly being hit today, as it is a long baseball field, a very rectangular shape of the field, and that's to make way for the Cleveland Rams when they played here in the NFL. That one fouled over to our left. The next one to Birch. Swung on. This one's going to be a tapper over to first, and that will be out number 3, and the side is retired. A 1-2-3 inning for the Red Raiders on offense. Thomas Barrett needing a quieter inning on the mound. And we will see if he can deliver at the top of the 4th inning. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum, and join calling this one hereby the Baseball Heritage Museum here at League Park. We'll see you for the top of inning 4. Thank you very much for tuning in. We are set for the top of inning number 4. Thomas Barrett looking to quiet things down as compared to his last inning. This one lined right to Flynn Block over at second. And a 1 pitch, 1 out for Barrett. And there's a way to start an inning. As I said in the Brunswick game, Barrett, much more of a contact pitcher as compared to pitchers like George McGinnis, who gets double-digit strikeouts per game. This one, outside, but a strike. Shaker down 4, looking to limit the damage here in the top of the 4th. That one, I believe, ruled outside, a ball. The next one to him. This one swung on, and with power, it'll go over to Burchin left. It'll be over his head and out of here. Well, a one-hopper. Birch not able to get to it. Luckily, not able to get out of here without a bounce. But that will mean a runner in scoring position. Off the ground, rule double. Barrett the pitch, and opening up this at-bat, Brett Moore diving out for it, but he can't get to it. Birch, he's got an arm, but he's just going to try and get the man at second, and he's still safe. The runner comes home from second all the way to the plate, and he will be the 8th run for the Eagles. 8-3 now our score. Barrett not able to pitch a half inning of scoreless baseball, as there's another run for Bishop Watterson. The next offering, a strike. A bit more upstairs, but still a strike nonetheless. The 75th pitch of Thomas Barrett on the way. It'll be outside. Barrett with 51 strikes in his outing so far. Schmidt over at second. He'll take his lead. And this one lined into right, and that'll get down for a hit. Fogarty throwing this one all the way home. It's cut off by Berglund, however. But the runner will stay put over at third. So that'll mean runners at runners at the corners with only one away. Barrett with 75 pitches now. 76 pitches now. The next one from Garnett, looking to pick the man off, stealing from first to second, but it's going to be cut off by Barrett, not wanting the man from third to reach home plate. So it'll remain 8-3. This pitch from Barrett low, a ball. One and one. The count stands even. This one skied into right center. We'll see who's got it. It'll be Tegan getting under it. And the throw to the plate will get away from Garnett. It'll be over to his left. He'll be able to make the play, but the runner not advancing from third to home. So the score will remain 8-3. '80th pitch from Barrett on its way. And an upstairs ball. Two away. Runners at second and third. This one will be over to our left and out of play. The count will go to 1-1. Barrett needing to limit the damage here in the top of the fourth. Only one run scored. There's strike two. Looking for a K. The kick, the pitch. This one could have gotten away from Garnett if he wasn't careful. Luckily, he was getting in the way of that pitch going to the backstop. He'll keep it in front of him, but the count evens up at 2-2. This one swung on and missed. It's in the dirt. The throw to first won't be in time. I don't believe in that it isn't. Garnett holding the ball for too long. And that's going to be an error, undoubtedly. And that'll bring home a run. Not what you like to see from the catcher. And there we go, 9-3 our score now. Runners back at the corners with 2 away. Shaker needing a big offensive explosion if they want to get back into this one. Barrett checking the runner over at first. He'll take his time on the mound to deliver the first pitch of the AB. But here it comes, upstairs. For Bishop Watterson, 2 runs scored in the first, 1 in the second, 4 in the third, and now 2 here in the fourth. And here, they've got the runner in rundown. And the tag laid on the runner trying to get back to third as Barrett stepped off the mound just in time to get the man looking to go home with it. But there you go. There's out number 3 from Barrett and Shaker, needing a solid offensive outing here in the bottom of inning number 4. The question, can they get it? Well, answers will be soon to come as we will be back. We're back. We're halfway through this one as Quentin Garnett swings through strike 1 to open up the Red Raider outing on offense here in the fourth. Due up, it's Garnett. It's Moore and it's Fogarty. This one low. Garnett watching this one go by. The next to him, that'll be taken for strike number 2. The catcher needing to put bat to ball. He hasn't in a while. The next to him, swung on and missed. Still unable to do so as he will head back to the dugout without the success at the plate. So that'll bring up Brett Moore. He'll stand in the right-handed hitter's box. He'll take the pitch upstairs to open up his AB. The next to him, swung on. This one over to our right, but it'll be out of play. Back on the roof of the visitor center of the museum. Tyler Zach getting warmed up over to our left. Not exactly a traditional bullpen. It's what we see from the Oakland Athletic Stadium. The warm-up area is in foul ground. Tyler Zach, he told me before the game he's pitching in relief, and there you go. Looking to back up Thomas Barrett today. This one taken for a strike by the shortstop. And we'll see if we see Zach after this half inning. The pitch to Moore. This one swung on and lined over to right. That'll get down for a hit. The one-out single. That'll bring up Eli Kuda. He's getting his first look, as looks like he'll be subbed out for Andrew Fogarty in right. Looks like Fogarty's ball game is done. We'll see what Kuda can do in the left-handed batter's box. This one to him will be outside. Taken for ball one. Runner taking his lead at first. That's Brett Moore, the shortstop. The pitch to Kuda, swung on. This one a tapper to third. He's going to look for the force at second. He'll get it. No throw to first. Kuda in safely at first, but Moore will be heading back to the dugout. That'll bring up Will Tagan. As I said earlier, entering today, not exactly an average to be too proud of. 222. The first to him will be upstairs. However, Tagan, he's got 4 hits with 2 singles and 2 doubles. Still looking for his first shot to get out of play. We'll see if he can get a home run sometime soon. We've seen him in batting practice. He's able to get them. He's a bit of a power contact duo. The next one to him. He'll check his swing. This one will get away from the catcher. Kuda will be in on a dive, but it'll be without a throw. The second baseman not covering. The next one to the center fielder outside. This one once again upstairs. They'll draw the walk. That'll bring up Flynn Block with runners at first and second. Taken at first, Kuda at second. Flynn Block, a man that's 2 for 2 today. He's one of the 3 runs for the Red Raiders. Block, he got a triple in his first AB. This one taken for strike one. Oh, and 1 goes the count. Runner in scoring position for Block. This one a ball. That'll make the count even, 1-1. Flynn Block looking to drive a run home. Looks like he'll do it there. Kuda rounding third. He'll make his way home. Tagan needing to get back at second. He's safe. Didn't look like the umpire was exactly looking in direction, but he'll call it safe. And there's another RBI for Flynn Block. Next up will be Nolan James, as now our score will be 9-4. Still a 5-run ball game. We'll see if Tegan can close the gap here. Or excuse me, James can close the gap here. Tegan, the man in scoring position, he's at second. Block over at first. The first pitch to James will barely find its way into the strike zone. A bit of curve to it. James most likely thought that one would end up outside. That's not the case. The next one to James. That one will find its way inside. Tegan will make his way to third. Block making his way to second. The wild pitch. So now Nolan James has 2 runners in scoring position to think about. The count is 1-1. The umpire made it clear that everyone watching knew it. So the 1-1. This one swung on. A tapper to third. The throw to first will be in time. And so Shaker only able to get 1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Not able to respond as Bishop Watterson will still be up in a 5-run ball game. And with that, Tyler Zach will be up on the hill. He had a solid solid outing in practice yesterday. However, in his last time up on the hill in a ball game, not exactly one to remember. We'll talk more about that when we come back. So on the hill now, replacing Thomas Barrett, it's going to be the sophomore, Tyler Zach, getting an outing in relief. His last time out, he started the game on the hill against Lake Catholic. That outing, not one that he's going to want to look back upon, that pitch inside. But he allowed 8 runs on 8 hits, 2 batters hit by a pitch, and 1 walk. He only went 2 innings. The next one from Zach will be outside. Two outside the strike zone, so 2-0 the count. The next from the sophomore will find its way in the strike zone. A big swing and miss. And there you go, Tyler Zach. Forcing the big hack from the man standing in the right-handed hitter's box. That's Marbaugh. With the 2-1 count, this one he'll line it right to third base. Sam Luther not going to have to move whatsoever to make the catch. I believe that was 4 pitches, 1 out for Tyler Zach. That one outside. So Thomas Barrett, He ended his outing giving up 10 hits off of 85 pitches. This one skied back right onto that truck once again. That truck taking a beating here at League Park, but what can you do? You leave a vehicle there, that's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. The next one popped up. It looks like that has some carry to it, so it'll get over to right, and it'll be Kuda making the play as Andrew Fogarty was subbed out last half inning. And so some quick work from the sophomore, which is what you like to see. Perhaps some growth from his outing in Lake Catholic. I spoke with him today, and he didn't exactly seem too worried about his outing. That pitch inside. But Zach knows he has it in him, and he also has 2 more years to progress. First pitch inside. The next one will go for a ball as well. 2-0 goes the count. Two are away here in the top of the 5th. The kick, the pitch from Zach. And that will be upstairs. 3 balls, no strikes. 2 quick outs from the sophomore, but now he's needing to slow things down, as that's 3 straight balls. The next one, delivery, and that will be upstairs, I suppose. A bit of a shorter strike zone from the umpire. And that'll mean he's on safely over at first. Bit of a surprising ball 4 call. There. Strike 1. That one looked outside, but once again, the umpire sees what he sees. He calls what he calls. The 9-4 ball game. Tyler Zach looking to keep it that way. The next offering lined into right. Kuda able to get to it. He'll have to dive awkwardly on one knee and make the grab, but make the grab he does, and that will retire the side. So there's the first scoreless top of an inning, as Bishop Watterson has found success at the plate. But there you go, Tyler Zach, keeping this one at a 5-run ball game. We'll see how the offense can back him up when we come back for the bottom of the 5th. Thank you very much for tuning in here in Cleveland, Ohio at League Park. We're back for the bottom of 5. Standing in will be Berglund. The other 2 due up. I believe Braden White standing in the on-deck circle. And it should be Marcus Birch unless he's being subbed out as well. We'll see. The next to Berglund, outside. 1-1. The football player has got some power behind the bat. We'll see if he can use it here. Berglund's 1 for 2. This one fouled back. Berglund 1 for 2 with a strikeout. The other one just a single. But that's what you like to see from the first baseman. The next one to him. Swung on and missed, and there's strikeout 2 on the first baseman. And that'll bring up the sophomore Braden White. He's being subbed in as replacement to Sam Luther. Shaker subbing in plenty of players, as now we're seeing Sam Frigoletti in at the on-deck circle. He's going to replace Marcus Birch. First pitch, big swing from White. And we saw him in batting practice, and he was absolutely launching these, which is what you like to see from the sophomore. And they're trying to do it again. But he'll swing through 2 in a row. So now he's going to have to defend on 0-2. The delivery to him will be outside. He won't pull the trigger there. He knows better. There's one away as Berglund struck out, the leadoff man here in the bottom of the 5th. White standing in. He'll take the swing at that one and foul it off to our left. The count will remain at 1-2. The pitch to White. That one inside. That one almost got him. If he didn't get out of the way, it very well might have. So, with him getting out of the way, the count works even. 2-2. And this one outside. White started off 0-2, but now he works this one full. So with one away, we'll see if he can get on base. The pitch to him. Outside. He works it from 0-2 to get the walk. And that means Sam Frigoletti will be up. Trying to get Braden White. Perhaps maybe home, but we'll see what Frigoletti can do. Frigoletti working a 200 average off of 6 plate appearances. There's strike 1. He's only got 1 hit, and that's a single in his 5 actual at-bats. If this one falls down, that'll be another single, but that's not the case. Braden White needing to get back in safely at first. That he will. The throw will not be in time. So that'll mean Quentin Garnett back in. Let's go, Q. Garnett looking for his first hit since a week ago. Since then, 3 ball games, and that was against North Olmsted, Lake Catholic, and Gilmore Academy. He's been held hitless since then. This pitch to him outside. Garnett does represent one of the 4 runs for Shaker, but that comes off of being hit by a pitch. This one inside, ruled a strike. Umpire with a wide strike zone. One and one. This one swung on. That'll get into right. A routine flyout for the man out. In right field, he'll make the catch. And that will retire the side. Our first full scoreless inning will be the fifth inning. And it should be Tyler Zach back on the mound, and that it will be. He's working the only scoreless inning on the mound for Shaker. We'll see if he can replicate the fifth when we do come back. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're in League Park, a historical site here in the name of baseball. We'll see if Shaker can work a miracle and get back into this one, but it'll start with keeping them where they are. Tyler Zach will be back on the mound for the top of the sixth. We're back for the top of inning number 6. Tyler Zach staying in on the hill. But with the many, many defensive substitutions, this is how the defense lines up behind him. It's Friguletti still out there in left. Or his first time out there at left. What I meant to say is Will Tagan is staying out there at center. And right, it's Eli Kuda. The pitch will be inside a ball. And on the infield, Cooper Mears will take a spot over at first. At second, it'll remain Flynn Block. At short, it will remain Brett Moore. At third, Berglund moves from first over to cover third. Behind the dish, Garnett will remain. Zach's pitch will be outside. A ball. I believe that moves the count to 2-1. Nobody away here. We're just starting the top of the 6th. This one upstairs. 3-1 goes the count. We'll see what he can get done with the 3-1. This one swung on over to right, but it'll be foul. Just to the right of the first baseline. If that was fair, that would have been trouble. Luckily not the case. And that'll leave, or excuse me, that will work the count to full. 3-2 with nobody away. The payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him chasing, and 8 isn't happy that he went for it. As that's strike 3. Good work by the sophomore Tyler Zach. Looking to replicate the last inning out on the hill. Not looking to replicate his outing in Lake Catholic, and so far, he's not doing so. So there's out one. The next one to number 14 standing in the left-handed hitter's box. It'll be a ball. The sophomore, they kick the pitch, and that'll be a strike. His umpire with a very wide strike zone, but staying consistent. The next one, ooh, very much outside. With one away, the 2-1. And oof, that one will go as a ball. Tough call for the sophomore, but he's going to have to live with it. The next one will be swung on, skied into right center. And it'll be the right fielder, Eli Kuda, getting under it just in time to make the grab. That's out 2. Tyler Zach making good work of this Bishop Watterson offense. First pitch of this AB, outside and low. Ball number 1. This one looking upstairs, but it'll be ruled a strike. That umpire out there behind home plate has been calling that a ball a lot today, but there you go. 2 away, the pitch, and this one ran in and got him. Tyler Zach looking to slow things down. He's already got 2 away here in top of inning number 6. Andrew Fogarty is warming up over in foul territory. Zach's pitch low and outside. 1-0 is the count. Runner over at first in a 5-run ball game. Bishop Watterson, the road team, leading the score. Here's a stealing attempt, but that throw from Garnett's going to be very much to the left of block. It'll pull him off the bag, and it's a successful stealing attempt. Watterson looking to get to double digits and throw 10 runs up on the board. Shaker only with 4. We'll see if Watterson is successful. Zach with a 1-1 count to work with. And number 34 kicks and deals. That one inside. 2-1 with 2 away. Not too many balls hit to the outfield and have dropped down. If so, it's normally a bloop into the shallow parts of the outfield. There it's lined. And there it looks like they're going to try and round third. The throw to Garnett won't get to him in time. And there's run number 10 for the Eagles. Shaker in a bad position here. In the top of 6. There's the first run allowed from Zach. And it'll be an earned run. In his outing against Lake Catholic, he allowed 8 runs to come across, but only 3 of them were earned. This pitch goes for a strike. But as I was saying, not too many balls hit over the outfielders, and I guess that's what you expect in such an odd ballpark shape as this. This one, very rectangular, as the Cleveland Rams NFL team used to play here. It's 290 over to right. It's 375 over to left, and in the deepest part of the ball field, it'll be 460. Giancarlo Stanton numbers out there in the deepest part of the ballpark. Zach looking to limit the damage, but that one behind the batter, losing control, and it'll be a successful movement from first to second from Mangini. Two away for Tyler Zach, and it was two away to open up the inning. However, Bishop Watterson got a two-out rally going for him. The pitch from Zach. This one skied out of play to our left. Two-two. The even count. With two away, runner over at second. Zach needing to get out of the inning. The pitch. This one lined into left. Frigoletti's under it, and he will make the grab and retire the side. So the top of the sixth, one run comes across, and it'll reach Bishop Watterson into double digits in their runs. The ball game now 10-4 with the Eagles on the road winning this one. We'll see if Shaker's offense can get a miracle going in the bottom of the sixth. Thank you very much for tuning in here at League Park. I'm Vaughn Ullum, loving to call this one for you in such a historical site. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. We're getting set for the bottom of six, and standing in will be Brett Moore. He has not been replaced in his spot over at shortstop. This one swung on, fouled back. This one not hitting the truck that has been hit so many times today. That one over to the right. The next one, two more, taken outside. I believe that's ball two. Or at least it should be. The next one to him, inside. And that'll work the count 3-0. A beautiful day for baseball. Here at League Park, a historical site. We've seen Bob Feller and Cy Young play at this ballpark. And here, Brett Moore gonna line this one to the shortstop, and with a hop, he will catch this one with the left hand. And there you go. Out number one will be Brett Moore. Standing in will be Eli Kuda up next. But here at the historical ballpark, you know I like to give you some history. So this day in baseball history, April 15th of 1968, the Houston Astros and New York Mets went scoreless for 23 innings. In the 24th inning, it was the Astros finally getting the victory, and it was the longest scoreless affair in professional baseball history. That one went 24 innings, went 6 hours in length. This one outside for Eli Kuda. So there's some history for you at the historical site. That is League Park. And speaking of history, happy Jackie Robinson Day to every baseball fan out there. It's the first day he stepped on to the Major League field. You'll see all MLB teams today wearing 42 on the back of their jerseys. The Guardians begin their affair against the Washington Nationals at 4. The pitch to Kuda. Low, but ruled a strike. Kuda thought that one was low, but that it was not, and that will take us to the top of the lineup once again. Will Tagan standing in, taking his big swings outside of the batter's box. In the outfield, both the right fielder and left fielders have been replaced. Will Tagan, the only man staying in the outfield. And there he'll take strike one. The next to him, big swing and a miss. 0-2. A quick 2-strike count on the center fielder. Will Tagan with some power behind that bat. We'll see if he can use it here. The 0-2. And oof! A 3-pitch strikeout on the center fielder. And on as good of a hitter as Will Tagan, you're not going to get a 3-pitch strikeout against him that often. But there you go. Bishop Watterson getting out of the 6th in a 1-2-3 inning. And that'll take us to the final inning, and that's number 7. And it looks like it'll be Wes Cole getting his first outing here this season. We'll see how he can do when we come back. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We're here for the final inning of play here at League Park. And now on the mound, it'll be Wes Call, number 26, the senior, getting his first look of the season. The first pitch from him will be inside for ball 1. Wes Call, one of the many up-and-coming Cincinnati Bearcats. Many members of the Shaker Heights High School are going to University of Cincinnati. That one, once again, inside, 2-0 the count. But including that, it is, of course, Wes Call and his 2 teammates, also Marcus Birch and George McGinnis. The pitch, that'll go for a strike. That'll be the first strike from Wes Call in his first outing of the season. The next, and that'll get him. Wes Call with a shaky outing. in practice yesterday, talking to the ump behind the dish. As Shaker, unlikely to get back into this ball game on offense, getting some practice in for the senior that hasn't pitched in a high school ball game in a long, long time. Yesterday he spoke with me at practice, and he said to me, "This is my first time pitching in over a month." Now is at practice. He hasn't worked his arm in a long while. And here that pitch is going to get away from Garnett. The runner from first will move up to second. Nobody away with a runner in scoring position. The pitch from Call. But he'll check the runner. The throw not be in time, as he was looking to get a jump on Call. But he'll be back in safely. Call working with 2 balls and no strikes. The next from him will be swung on, fouled back, off the cage and back into the concrete behind the stands. There's strike number 1 of the at-bat. Call with the delivery upstairs. And Call so far with 9 pitches, but only 2 strikes. Last season, I'm told by him and many of his teammates and coaches, he had a great year last year. But this year, since the very beginning of the season, he hasn't been able to find any sort of groove. And there he'll walk the man at the plate. So runners at first and second now with nobody out. And oof, that one almost got him at the plate. That one would have been up high if he didn't get out of the way. Luckily he did, but there's ball 1. The positive stat so far is that Wes has not allowed any hits so far. But he has hit a batter and walked the other. And that pitch inside. There's ball 3. And Call is 1 pitch away from walking the bases loaded. But there's a strike. Three and 1. The next offering. Swung on and missed. That'll work the count to full, and maybe here some positive signs from the senior out on the mound. He's thrown 15 so far. That will be 16, and that's behind the batter, needing to get out of the way, and now he's walked the bases loaded. Call now with bases loaded and nobody out. This is something we saw in the game against Brunswick, and Shaker was able to get out of it without any damage done. But here, Wes Call, not in control of his pitches. That one outside and upstairs. This next one fouled back. Yet again, back around the concrete area behind the stands. So the count even at 1-1. Wes Call has now pitched 18, but he's only thrown 5 strikes. This one cut on and missed. There's his 6th strike. So now he's in control of the count, 1-2. And he'll hit him. So he's hit 2 and walked 2. And we'll see how much longer coach decides. He wants this to remain. We saw Fogarty warming up earlier. We'll see if he gets any looks, if Call can't get this under control. It's still bases loaded with nobody out. The pitch. This one cut on into foul territory. Over to our right, and there's strike 1. West Call so far not in control, but here's his pitch. And this one swung on and back over to our right. So now he is most definitely control of the count. 0-2 is said count. However, he was in control of the last count, and he ended up hitting the batter. We'll see what he can do here. The pitch. This one, a beauty of a strike. It's right down the middle, right to Flynn Block. Over at second, he's going to need to dive to make the play. No advance, surprisingly, from third, as he most likely would have found his way home. But there you go. Out number 1. Flynn Block making the diving play. Out there in very, very shallow right center. And now West Call finally finding somewhat of a groove. There's strike 1 on him. 0-1. The pitch. And there you go. The senior now back to an 0-2 count. Perhaps just needing to get some jitters out of the way. The next offering. This one outside, trying to get him to chase. Still in control of the count, 1-2. 1 away with bases loaded here in the top of inning number 7. Bishop Watterson's winning by 7. The pitch from Call. This one trying to get him to chase once more. And now we're evened up in the count. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. This pitch. And that's a strikeout. The first strikeout from West Call this season. And you saw it right there. West Call now finding a groove. And that's what you like to see from the senior. This is a sign of hopefully good things to come. The pitch. This one swung on line over to right. And this one's going to bounce off the fence. And now this will not be. One thing to remember as West Call has now allowed a 3-run triple. As that one went all the way back to the wall, a very tall wall, as that one's not getting out anytime soon. However, there's 3 more runs across. And Watterson now leads this one by 10. There's 2 away. West Call with the pitch. This one outside for ball 1. The 1-0 offering. And that'll be right down Main Street for strike 1. Shaker not really in range of getting this back to even, as they've only got 3 more outs to work with in a 10-run ball game, as now the Eagles are leading 14-4. The count 1-1. This one inside. 1 runner on, and he stands at third after the triple. By the way, that play earlier from who I said was Flynn Block over at second, that was actually Malachi Kranz, who has been subbed in. So my apologies on that front. But there's a walk once again. So runners at the corners with 2 away. This one will go for a strike. That was Call's 35th pitch. There's his 36th. He's only thrown 15 strikes out on the hill. So though it's a beautiful day, Shaker not playing the most beautiful baseball due to the struggles on the mound. Four runs have come across in the name of Red Raider offense. This one right to the shortstop. He'll throw on to second. George McGinnis was replaced in for Brett Moore at short. He threw on, got the force at second, and that will retire the side. We've got one more half of baseball for you here at League Park, a historical baseball field, and we'll see what Shaker can do down 10, as it'll be their last outing on offense. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Vaughn Ullum here at League Park. We're back for the bottom of inning number 7, our final inning here, and Shaker needing to put up 10 if they want this ball game to be evened up. And let's just say we've seen crazier things in the name of baseball, especially high school baseball. We saw the Minnesota Twins the other day get a 9-run first inning against the Yankees in Major League Ball, which isn't exactly unheard of, but it's also not common. And oof, there's a pitch very much upstairs. Malachi Cran's standing in. It's his first time up to the plate since the Red Raiders return to Ohio after their Arizona outing, and oof. A ball. Didn't exactly get to the plate, as that one found its way off the grass and over the catcher. The next pitch, down low. He has a delivery similar to the pitcher of James Karinchak for the Cleveland Guardians, the reliever. There it's upstairs, and they're not exactly something unheard of from James Karinchak as well, a 4-pitch walk. So there it'll be Malachi Cran standing in at first. Nolan James back at the plate. He's 0 for 3. He's needing to slow things down at the plate. The pitch to him. Swung on, a chopper over to third. Trying to get the force at second, and they will, but trying to turn two will not be successful, as James will beat it out. So a fielder's choice, but it'll mean one away. Berglund, the power hitter, standing in. He's got a runner at first to think about. He doesn't want to leave Nolan James hanging. However, this Red Raider offense has left many runners hanging on base today. The 1-0 delivery. Down low. One away. James standing on first. Now he'll take his lead. Berglund with a 2-0 count. The next pitch will be, oof. It'll be inside, but that umpire's been calling that every inning, and so you can't exactly complain if the umpire's being consistent. The 2-1. Oh, pickoff attempt, and it'll get away from the first baseman. James moving over to second and thinking about going over to third, and he probably would have made it, but better safe than sorry. 8 pitches from the man on the mound. He's only thrown 2 strikes. Nolan James leading off of second. The pitch. And normally he'd been calling that upstairs, but there's strike 2. We're even at 2-2 with 1 away. Runner at second, that's Nolan James. The pitch. Swung on, this one over to first. He'll fumble with it, but he'll recover. Nolan James moving from second to third. He represents the 5th run of the Red Raiders. But we'll see if Cooper Mears can bring him in. Mears standing in for his first time today. He'll have his little shimmy of the left leg as he stands into the left-handed hitter's box. The first pitch to him of the ball game will be inside, and it got him. Well, 1 pitch to Mears here in the ball game, and 1 pitch is all he needs to take first base. So that'll bring in Sam Frigoletti. Runners at the corners with 2 away. Shaker down to their last out in a 10-run score. The pitch to Sam Frigoletti. Hittable, and this one's popped up on the infield, and that will do it. That's the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Bishop Watterson controlled it throughout the entire ball game, or that's not exactly true. The first 2 innings were great baseball, but Bishop Watterson only did not score in 1 inning, and that was the 5th when Tyler Zach was able to hold them off. But at that point, it was already 9-4. So Shaker, with not exactly an outing to remember on the mound and on offense, as it was Bishop Watterson getting 14 runs, only on 12 hits. Both teams had 2 errors, and Shaker got 4 runs on 6 hits. They left plenty of men on base. The final stats from each of the pitchers is Thomas Barrett. He pitched the first 4. He allowed 10 of those hits on the 9 runs. He should most likely be getting the loss on the mound. However, he did strike out 4. 6 strikeouts for the team in full, as Zach and Call got 1 each. But with that, it's ultimately Bishop Watterson getting the win because they just played better baseball here at League Park. And what can you do? Shaker Heights will be back at it, I believe, on Monday against Warrensville Heights. And so, we'll see you then on Monday. Thank you very much for tuning in. We had a beautiful day of baseball here at League Park, here in Cleveland, Ohio. Be sure to check out the area here with the Baseball Heritage Museum. But thank you very much to League Park for allowing us to use the area. But with that, that's all from us here at League Park. Thank you very much for joining us. Our final score, 14-4. Bishop Watterson wins this one.